you love it, but it's hot in here. Jesus. The heat gives me a headache. It's just too much.
So what's going on now? Everything's perfect?
Yeah. Tomorrow I'm going up to the roof. I'm gonna use that chimney sweep and clean out the chimneys. Just to be safe. Since we're using them a lot, you know what I mean? I'm gonna go clean out.
But just
It's not hard, it's very easy.
yeah?
Very easy.
Oh, okay.
Because I have the proper tools for it.
I guess it's gonna rain tomorrow.
Is it? No.
Yeah, I think
I thought it was Thursday.
For the next 7 days. Wednesday, 58 degrees Fahrenheit and lots of clouds.
No.
Thursday, 48 degrees and rainy weather.
There it is.
Friday, 42 degrees and showers.
Good.
Saturday, 49 degrees and lots of clouds.
We need
Sunday,
rain.
51 degrees and lots of clouds. Monday, 52 degrees and lots of clouds.
Coño.
Tuesday, 55 degrees and lots of clouds.
What?
Whatever. I would like rain every day. Every day.
I know,
Rain.
dry, that's no good. It causes fire.
We need rain. The heck with lots of clouds. We need
Yeah,
rain.
and rain.
I don't want to hear lots of clouds. I want to hear rain.
Me too. For everything, septic. ¿Qué estar haciendo ese loco? I know he's playing with something.
He's always playing with something.
Oh no, he's say, Elizabeth, I'm sorry to Tycho. I'm eating my bone.
Okay.
I think I want to go in the room, look at TV, and then I fall asleep. But I need that little white thing to close the windows. No sé ni lo que hice con el fucking libro.
Anyway. What am I missing here? This is loud. Just let me know when you're done so I could shut this light.
Here you go.
I hate it. It's so bright. That's right in my face. At the end of one, Rangers Knucks tied at 2. I don't know where the hell I left off in this game.
Just follow it. Get on the ring. I'm right.
I really want that treasure. I don't know if I want to get a headache to even try to figure it out. But I want it.
Let me look at the news to see how New York is doing.
Where am I? I'm all the way down there.
I can't
There's
find
another
it.
treasure that way, but there's a gate blocking that.
Never find it.
Where am I?
Get ready.
Get ready for what?
It's all the news that is.
Alright, hold on. Let's go back. Journal. Wait a minute.
Wow, this is a
30% discovered.
I didn't know I had pages.
Let's start discovering. anything down here? We don't want to do that.
They're at range.
Shit, what am I missing here?
Coming at range.
I hear it. I heard it. I have no idea what it is, but I heard it.
I'm saying, there's always something.
Ruins Reach. Come on, heal me.
Got it.
Really? There's gotta be something I'm missing here. Can you get in there? Well, what the hell is that? Can't be opened.
Oh, what a horrible way to go.
Never seen anything like it. I'm used to plants that you eat, not the other way around.
Let's not stick around and become dessert.
Now we can't get through this door. Currently inaccessible. I am not answering my phone, looking at my phone. I don't care. Don't bother me. It's as simple as that. It really is. Okay, how come we can't activate that wolf?
Is it true that you've met the head of the Jantry, Harding?
Divine Victoria? Yeah, I met her. Before the really fancy
Yeah,
hat.
look at that thirsty
How
face.
dangerous is she?
I get thirsty. Why?
On a scale from 1 to 10, I'd give her an 11.
They say que
Why?
se la diabetes.
The Crows get a lot of contracts for her.
Maybe don't take them?
Oh shit!
Agreed. We have enough trouble.
You have to hydrate yourself. That's what that is.
Yeah, I don't drink water.
That's not true. You drink water.
Nah.
You don't drink water.
No, I don't drink a lot. I drink soda, yes, a lot. I gotta wash it, you know that?
You got what? What?
Wash that off, precioso.
Wait a minute. No, we don't want to go there.
We got so many areas we could do.
It's that stupid gate over there. I wonder if this thing opens something over there. Shit, that looked like something. I guess not.
Wait,
I don't see anything. I don't think so. There's no way across there. curious. What's up, Ben? I don't see anything. We did all that. But I didn't really go far in this territory. Part of the map is missing. Hmm. That's not happening. There has to be a way. What's in here? I don't know what the hell all this is. Like, this is where we were. So we just went around the whole circle. past the bottom. Fuck. That wasn't too smart. There's a tram. This is already done. So how the hell did I get up here? There has to be a way. So how did I get in here? I think it's killing me. We can't jump. I'm trying to figure out how the hell did I get up here in order to get to that. I don't see another way. This is a dead end. There's no way. Boy. I didn't see. we're back to here. What the I just went in a full circle. Where's the tram? The freaking zip line. The zip line is behind me or to my left? How is that possible?
The things you make, Harding, are they tip? Farrell-in dishes?
Oh no. I don't know how to make any of the real traditional staples. My mom always did the cooking. She can make all the classics. Jam tart, cider porridge, turnip stew with 50 cloves of garlic.
She didn't teach you how to cook?
Nope.
Okay. Where is this going?
I forgot what I was going to say. Mirda, she didn't teach you how to cook?
Nope. I'm entirely
Okay, that's how we got up
self-taught.
there.
She must have many feelings about that.
Okay, that's all we can do. I'm not gonna worry about this. I'll obsess. So that's how we got up there. Exactly how we got up here. Why that moved, I don't know. It makes no sense. One totem. I'm not gonna obsess over it. I'll be here all night.
Receiving your message was quite the surprise, Stripe.
Desperate times and all that.
If I can provide assistance, such things matter.
Aren't these the old fools?
Alexa, shut off the ring of light.
Okay.
go with this championship bullshit. Which I had it, and I don't know how I can get it back after I put it in that stupid thing. It's called Royally Screwed.
Death is too good for you.
Excellent form, bro. They're at range. Your turn.
What did that just do? Did something.
They're aiming for us. On your right.
Be ready.
You know what?
What?
That's not a nice game, you know?
What?
Trying to act like the meow.
What?
Like the cat.
What about it?
Oh, meow.
I didn't do that. I didn't do anything.
Well, you better get the hell with me over there because somebody's doing that. And I want to be with you when they're doing that. 'Cause I know it's
So you're saying somebody's playing games out there doing meow?
meow around the outside of that.
Ma, I'm playing a game. I'm not playing games with you.
Then you do it.
Meow.
There's a man out there, then you do it. For me, then I'll check it or whatever's gonna happen after the...
Ma, are you bugging out?
No, I'm not bugging out there, Lee. You just don't believe it.
No, I don't.
Well, no, I don't think.
Got him in position.
It's the cats.
The cats are right
Whatever
by
you say.
my door. And they're not going out to me. There's anybody back there in the woods and they're trying to play.
So you want me to go outside and inspect? Is that what you want?
With me to fit them.
Okay. Let's go.
And let me check my
Let's go.
weapon.
All right, let's go.
I'm not fucking kidding. Shit, I don't kid around. Wait. What? Well, let me get the knife and the gun.
All right, well, there's nobody out there, okay? I believe you. All right, but there's nobody out there now. Okay, there's nobody out there.
So you don't think somebody's in the back?
There's nobody out there.
Yes, it is.
There's nobody out
When
there.
I went back at that.
I just went back there. I just went outside.
The cats, they don't go meow, wow, like he don't sound like a cat.
Okay, well, what do you want me to do?
Sounds like somebody that's imitating the cat.
Okay, well, there's nobody out there. I was just out there.
Well, I got my rifle here.
Well, there's nobody out there.
I'll blow somebody's head off.
There's nobody there.
Fucking shit.
Mom's gonna go shooting people now. Can't make this up.
Everyone all right?
It's too much. Where am I? Yes.
One thing, if you're gonna mess around with me like that,
I would never mess around. Ask anybody who's watching. I wasn't messing around. I don't know what you're talking about.
going down when
I would never do that.
I'll call the cops right now.
I just told you I didn't do it. enough!
You have to believe
Enough! I believe you! Enough!
Or I'll call the cops right now so they could go back there and
Jesus
check it out.
Christ! Enough!
You have to believe me, motherfucker.
I believe you! Enough!
You believe me, but we want to oh, no,
Jesus Christ! Can't get in there. Do we need to kill more Darkspawn? There's more of those things. Where are they? I hear them. I don't see any though. I hear them, but I don't see them. has to be one more. But where is it? This game could give a person a fit. Oh, there's still more? I hear another one. We're not getting up there.
Better be ready. Good job.
Clear.
ready to go again. Good hit.
That will stop it.
We have company.
Jesus Christ.
Trouble nearby.
Thanks, Jonas.
They're hitting us from afar. I'm there. Got him in position.
Understood.
That's room for ya. Trouble spotted. See that? Bad guys.
They're at range. That should speed things up.
that's a relief.
All that for that. All that for that. Because I had to kill a certain amount to get that. That's sick. That really is sick. What's up, Julian? Alexa, what's the score? Rangers Canucks game.
At the second intermission, the Vancouver Canucks are tied with the New York Rangers 3-3.
Oh shit. I'm gonna give up on that right now. Because it's absolutely driving me shit crazy. Oh, it's in the same place. I can't get to it. Oh my god. I'll just do away with these side missions. I just won't do them.
Get ready.
On it.
Get clear. They're shooting for us.
Who the hell hit me? Holy fuck.
Finish it. Stay there.
No shit. We gotta take him out.
Finished. End it now. Stay covered.
Ready to go.
I don't have it.
The path can be breached. Bring what the gods have hidden.
I had the fucking champion's key, but I put it in a slot and I can't get it out. This game can be really fucking frustrating. I can't even tell you.
Onward, dweller.
See? I put it right in there. But I can't take it out. Beat him. Gate of Deep Sorrows. Collection. Betrayal of Philosophy. That's in. Deep Sorrows. Where is this?
Too many undead.
This game, I'll tell you, it's a headache. It seriously is a fucking headache. Okay, so that's where he is. Yeah, I did this. I beat this. The essence is in here. I beat it. Unless there's a glitch, I collected it. This is why this game is upsetting. This is why this game is pathetic.
Responsible. They're gone. The Fate's hair and that revenant. All that's left is its essence.
Collect Reverend Essence. I got it, so why isn't it working? This is what I mean about this game. Okay, so where the hell is he now? Docktown. Docktown. The hell are we going to Docktown for?
Oh no.
Well, there seems to be a lot of shit here to do. There's supposed to be a wolf thing here. Oh my god, this game is a headache.
Where is everyone? What did the Venatori do to the Shadow Dragons?
Venatori here. That's not good, is it? We might find an answer in all of this.
Fuck. Tycho's dreaming. I don't know which way I want to go.
Hector. He used to guard the pawn shop's entrance. Nev mentioned it. He was waiting for someone near the market. He might still be there.
We need to go back. Why? We're not doing that right now. Go back!
The killings. This is...
There's treasure behind me.
There is no limit to venatory cruelty.
Wrong way. The game is giving me a headache. I don't see no treasure. Unless it's up there. Oh my god. It's too much.
Unfortunate times we live in. Some cheese to cheer you up?
Hey, in the market for charms? I don't have any on me.
This game is so fucking retarded at times, I swear. Alright, so we're here. What's here? What's here? Pile of shit. It's telling us to go back down. That's how crazy this game is. Unless there's some serious glitching going on, it does not make sense. It just doesn't.
We need to get them away.
It's still showing it. So it's below. Below where? What is going on with this game? It makes no sense. I'm getting a headache. And we're going backwards.
The spirit of compassion. And another murder victim.
This one. A roof denied. Eyes skim over. Yet a world smudged in shadow. So beautiful. Find who he was.
The docks. It sounds like the Venatori tracked down Hector and took him there. Let's hurry. I don't like the tone of that note.
Dragon here?
How has a Matheson getting used to the shape?
This game is so whack at times. I swear it's whack.
That's a problem.
Venatori! Stop them!
End this!
That body. Is that Hector? Damn it. We were too late.
We won't let him get away with this. We can't.
Hey, Rook, I've news about Lorelei the Fence.
Lorelei. She ran the pawn shop. Sold things.
Yes, the Venatori found her. They took her to the docks. You have to hurry. You know what they do to shadow dragons?
We're on it.
So I'm supposed to just accept that they're better because of an accident at birth?
Did you get the books? I left them on your desk.
Yes, thank you. They'll be useful.
We've got a trail. Let's go.
Can't talk to you?
It's bad out here. So many dead or injured after the dragon.
Rana, how are you?
I'm surviving. Beyond that, I'm sure you've heard enough
Who are you
sad
talking to?
stories. I was injured during the attack, but I've recovered enough.
I thought you were talking
I'm
to
trying
me.
to help where I can.
There's no problem.
Please.
No. I know.
We got company. You got it. Still alive? Still alive.
All right, where do we go? What happened to the signal? Oh my god.
That's a problem.
You need to be taught a lesson for getting in the way of your betters. Ambush!
End it quick.
Oh shit.
Say it.
Search the area for anyone who needs help. Lorelei, this was hers. What did they do to her?
I knew the Venatori were bad, but this just...
Alexa, what's the Rangers Connect score?
With 3 minutes, 7 seconds left in the third period, the New York Rangers are beating the Vancouver Canucks 4-3.
I don't think they even care if the people they're executing are really Shadow Dragons. It's anyone who's ever been connected to them or helped them.
Just like that? Where'd they go? Are you serious?
Witness and destroy!
Oh boy. Well, you're attacking from the wrong fucking place, dude. Holy shit! This is just too much. What's the problem? What's the problem with the dog now? the game.
They're aiming for us.
I can't get away from this fuck.
Your turn. Get out of there. That one, that one. Gotta move.
He is a bitch.
Don't just stand there.
Take this down.
And I don't have nothing to fight against him.
Finish it.
Oh no!
You got it.
Is he dead?
Tell your gods you won't be stopped.
I just got the champion's
Every one of
essence.
these gets us a little farther.
Oh my god. Alexa, what's the score of Rangers Canucks?
The New York Rangers are beating the Vancouver Canucks 4-3.
Wow, that was tough. I barely beat that. Of course I'm leaving the combat area. What am I gonna stay here for? What was that? That's it. We made it out. Yeah, but we can change that. So if it ain't those two. Oh, doesn't matter. Alexa, what's the Canucks Rangers score?
Yesterday, the New York Rangers beat the Vancouver Canucks 4-3.
Yes. Now we're making progress on the game. By getting that champion's essence. Now we're getting somewhere.
Mandatory attack!
Why is it telling me to go back?
Attack for glory!
Attack who? What the hell is going on here? What is going on?
Demons! It looks like another victim.
Just say when.
Who? Oh, there's one there. I can't jump.
don't you check it out for me? Otherwise I'm gonna have to look at TV here.
Fatigue. Mental, emotional fatigue here.
Compassion. This one. Curiosity unbidden. Just one more answer. Truth and story beneath the ruins. Find who he was. I will find you then.
What?
You got it.
You're still telling us to go back? For what? For what? Now what? This game, I'll tell you. We did all that down there. What do you want? Let's just get the hell out of here. I'll tell you, this game is a headache. And I still play it. Oh my God. Have mercy. Both dots go this way. This one splits. That's where we were. This game. It's insane. Oh, I'm back there. And the spot disappeared. Now it's over there. Now it's not on the map. This game is so retarded. And now we're back here. So do we have to look around for bodies? Look at this. This game, I'll tell you, it will drive a person batshit nuts. It will drive a person nuts.
Property of Marcus, scholar.
Story beneath the ruins. Fear for the future, and yet he continued. For himself and for her. A faint connection begins to bind them. We must find the third.
Shows there's a treasure there, but that's how this game is. A pain in the ass. Why don't you tell us to go back?
Were you friends with someone here?
That was luck.
Charcoal drawings by someone named Evander.
A world smudged in shadow. He drew
That was just
Dogtown's darkness, but also its light. All those I found, I held a hand as the light left.
Do you know something about the murder victims? What connected them?
Each was desperate. Each heard a whisper that tempted them, and each turned away. They defied the one who called them. The demons we saw were merely minions. Too late for these. But now I can watch and protect others. Something larger stirs, calling the desperate. I cannot see what. No, the hope you bring Dogtown thwarts it, and may you continue.
Are we done? Oh, thank you. Thank God. One less bullshit to do. How many more side missions? 4? 5? Oh my God. This area will unlock later on during the team's travels. So I can't do those. Use the champion's essence. The weather's that bad, huh, Bob? Sure sounds it. We were talking about that shit. The main thing is you guys are safe. That's the main thing. Power, yeah. Main thing is you're alright. That's the main thing. Thank God. At least that's the way. Oh, you know what? Oh shit. I don't know if I want to buy anything. Yeah. I know that feeling too. Okay, that increases. I've been playing this game for hours, but I'm starting to finally make some progress. Finally. Well, what? New fence is still standing, but I ain't counting my chickens. I hear ya.
They're dug in here. The Venatori must be after something nearby. Let's get
Oh, no,
it first.
We want to save game now. But we'll save the old one. Okay. Save 9. So save 9 is the new one. The Rangers beat the Canucks. I don't want to give you bad news. More bad news on top. But the Canucks didn't have JT Miller. They didn't have a few other players. You know, they're a good team. They're just, and I want to know why he took personal leave. It wasn't because his wife, because one of the players, his wife was going to give birth maybe during the game. Hopefully it didn't happen, so now he can go to the hospital and see his wife give birth. But I'm done with that game for tonight. I got a headache from it. It was 4-3 final. But the Canucks, they scored in the first like 30 seconds of the game. I went to the other room. I come back. Holy shit, it's 1-0. What happened? Then the Rangers scored. It was 1-1 before 3 minutes of the game. Then that period ended at 2. The second period ended at tied at 3. And then the Rangers took the look. They didn't get schooled. They did not get schooled. It was a tight game. This was not a schooling. It wasn't like a blowout. This was a good game. Yeah. I didn't see the third period because I said, screw it, I'm going to game. But you got to think, before tonight's game, the Nucks were 9-5 and something maybe, without key players. Injuries that's the shit. I mean, it's in all sports, but in certain sports it's more devastating. But I love hockey, because hockey, anything could happen any night. It really can. Oh, Jesus Christ. Warren. At least one of our teams is doing good, I guess, is the Golden Knights. Let me look at the standings. The Rangers, the Hurricanes. I gotta look at the standings. I think the Rangers are 12-4 now. And 1, I think. I'm so busy, it's not like I could focus on this stuff. Like some people could just do this all day long. I can't. Okay. The Rangers, okay. The Caps are in first, but they have a game at hand. The Rangers are 2 points behind them. So if they win, they're tied for first with the Caps. The Hurricanes are also at 17 games and have 26 points. So they're ahead of the Rangers by 1 point right now with even amount of games played. The Devils have played 21 games and they're at 26 points. So the Rangers have 4 games at hand on them. And then everything else drops off. So right now the Rangers, if they win the next game, they're in first. Now if the Hurricanes win their next game, they would be alone in first. And the Rangers and the Caps would be 1 point behind. That's how close it is right now. It's tight. 4 teams battling. It's tight. The Panthers are 12-6 and 1 with 19 games played. Let's see. Winnipeg is 16-3. And they whipped the Rangers. 6-2. Whipped them. Minnesota Wild. 12-3. Wow. The Golden Knights are in first. But it's tight. It's I mean, think of this. The Nucks played 18. So they still have a game at hand. If they win the next game, they're even with the Kings. It's a mediocre situation going on in the Pacific. The Knights are 11-5-2. But then 10-6-3. 10-6-3, the Kings. Same thing with the Flames. 10-6-3. Then the Oilers are 10-8-2, and now Vancouver's 9-6-3. Everybody's tight. So all it takes is one team to go hot on a hot streak there. It's tight, but it's mediocre class. You know what I mean? If one team, because 10-6-3, the Kings are 10-6-3. I mean, they're over 500, but I don't like teams that have too many 1-point OTs. I don't like it because that kills you. It's points, yeah. And it's better than a loss, but you're not getting 2 points out of it. Those 2 points add up. That's important. Too many of these OTs numbers build up. It's not enough wins. Those 2 points get crucial. What's going on in here? We need the cup in Vancouver. Shit, we need the cup in New York. It's been 30 years. It's been a long time. So, shit, we need that too. But it's so early in the season. It's not even a quarter way yet. Not even a quarter. So, a lot of hockey. And injuries is the key. Right now, see, the Rangers are just too tight on their cap. Now, next year, the cap goes up. And that's how they're going to put the extra money to Igor. And he knows it. He knows that there's extra cap space next year. That's why he's waiting. Throw me that money. That extra cap money you're going to get, I want it added to my contract. Because he wants to become the highest paid goalie in the league. I mean, that's arguable. And he's going to get it. He's going to stay with the Rangers. They're already paying him, you know. So it's not like it's going to hurt them to pay him. What I found out today that was really interesting is the Yankees got an extra $15 million to play with. What summary? For what? The hearing. What hearing? That hearing? It was pathetic. It was zero. Nothing. I didn't even put my pen to take a note. It was that bad. It was bad. It was horrible. It was 45 minutes of Joan Ernst and Kristen Gillibrand asking questions. It was pathetic. That's what it was. I don't even want to say that was a hearing. Now, I had conversations tonight with a few people. And I, as I mentioned earlier, and this book right here, it was titled, in 1984, it was titled, I think it was 84, Clear Intent. My Beat. Listen to Happy Thought. I like listening to music. Is that what that is? Happy Thought? My Beat? This book nails it. And it's 4 decades old. I was reading a little bit of this, and it is exactly what's going on right now. This book is way ahead of its time. And Don Ecker told me to buy this book. He said, Bill, get that book. It has to deal with all the incidents at nuclear facilities, missile, all that, right here. And it has documents in the back. It's got images. And this book, I was reading some of the stuff out of here. There's more information in this book. It's scary how it ties into today. It is creepy scary. Like, you wouldn't believe it. It's like this could have been written yesterday. It's like that. And I'm not going to bother the man. What the hell is this?
Hey babe, wake up. Gotta tell you something.
What the fuck is that? Oh shit, why did he friend request me? I'll confirm him. Some interesting UFO people are trying to get in contact with me on Facebook. Interesting. Anyway, Alexa, turn on living room light.
Okay.
I'm just gonna read the preface, whatever the fuck. I can't even talk. I'm so tired. I need to go to bed soon. Just let me read this little piece out of this book and just listen and relate to what's going on now. I feel like I'm storytelling. Now remember, this was originally released in 1984, and then it came out with this title in 1992. So that's how old this is. 82, and then it was renamed this. The original name was Clear Intent. This is 40 years old. I'm gonna skim. Okay. There's documents in here that they refer to. It's in the back of the book. The official documents which will be referred to throughout this book allow us to draw certain conclusions as to the reality and nature of the UFO phenomena. They also attest to intense government interest in UFOs when the phenomenon posed a threat to the national security of the United States. This was brought up in the hearing last week. We find it most surprising that although UFOs have affected national security many times in the past, the government continues to perceive these reports on a case-by-case basis, referring to them as isolated incidents. Let's go back for a moment and take a brief look at a few past episodes of national security being threatened by unconventional aerial objects. From the start, UFOs were a top secret matter. Of this, there is no doubt. The following excerpt from a formerly classified FBI document dated January 31st, 1949, and sent to then FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover states, and here it is. At a recent weekly intelligence conference of G2, ONI, OSI, and FBI in the 4th Army area, officers of G2 4th Army have discussed the matter of unidentified aircraft or unidentified aerial phenomenon, otherwise known as flying discs, flying saucers, and balls of fire, orbs. The matter is considered top secret by intelligence officers of both the Army and the Air Force. And that's the end of that little piece. This classification stemmed from the high number of sightings that were being reported in the vicinity of sensitive military and government installations such as Los Alamos, New Mexico. Obviously, there was a lot of testing going on then. But this goes back fucking decades. It's not something new. You watch these hearings and you think they're talking about recent stuff. This has been going on for decades. Another previously classified Air Force document that was sent to the Brigadier General Joseph F. Carroll, Director of Special Investigations, United States Air Force, on May 25th, 1950, stated that observations of these phenomenon over Los Alamos were made by scientists, special agents of the Office of Special Investigations, IG, U.S. Air Force, airline pilots, military pilots, Los Alamos Special Investigation security inspectors, military personnel, and many other persons of various occupations. Once again, we see that the reliability of the observers is not in question. The Air Force was given real cause for concern by the continued appearance of unexplained aerial phenomenon in the vicinity of sensitive installations. The Assistant Director of Scientific Intelligence for the CIA sent an interesting memo in 1952 to then CIA Director Walter B. Smith. The concern over UFOs is once more apparent. The memo says, quote, sightings of unidentified objects at great altitudes and traveling at high speeds in the vicinity of major U.S. defense installations are of such nature that they are not attributable to natural phenomenon or known types of aerial vehicles. End quote. Attached to the CIA memo was a National Security Council memo and directive, quote, establishing this matter as a priority project throughout the intelligence and the defense research and development communities, R&D, end quote. The memo to the Executive Secretary of the National Security Council also states, quote, it is in my view that this situation has possible implication for our national security, end quote. What has been cause for concern 2 years before now had implications for our national security. Furthermore, the directive calls for the CIA to direct, formulate, and carry out a program of intelligence and research activities as required to solve the problem of instant positive identification of unknown flying objects. Knowledge of the government's serious top-level interest in UFOs even spread out outside the United States. In a Canadian Department of Transport memo dated November 21st, 1950, Wilbur B. Smith, senior radio engineer, forwarded a proposal to the controller of the telecommunications suggesting a formal study of, among other things, using the Earth's magnetic field as a possible energy source. The subject of flying saucers happened to come up in the memo as follows. I made discreet inquiries through the Canadian Embassy staff in Washington, who were able to obtain for me the following information. This is from an actual memo. A. The matter is the most highly classified subject in the United States government, rating even higher than the H-bomb. B. Flying saucers exist. C. Their modus operandi is unknown, but concentrated effort is being made by a small group headed by Dr. Bush. The entire matter is considered by the United States authorities to be of tremendous significance. Is that from a memo? A Canadian memo. The Smith memo itself was classified top secret. These documents clearly show that during the early years of the UFO phenomenon, the government expressed considerable concern over the potential threat that UFOs might pose to our national security. In recent years, the situation has not changed. This excerpt from an October 20th, 1969 Air Force document, which has suggested that the Air Force's UFO investigation project Blue Book be terminated, revealed that Blue Book never received those reports that affected national security. Of course they didn't. That's why that was a bullshit. Reports of unidentified flying objects which could affect national security are made in accordance with JANOP 146 or Air Force Manual 55-11 and are not part of the Blue Book system. Quoting the same document again, quote, as already stated, reports of UFOs which could affect national security should continue to be handled through the standard Air Force procedure designed for this purpose, end quote. The document was signed by Brigadier General C.H. Bolender, the Air Force's Deputy Director of Development. 16 attachments that once accompanied the document are no longer in the Air Force files. Disappeared. A NORAD document dated November 11, 1975 is probably one of the most significant modern examples of suspicious unknown air activity possibly affecting national security. It states that in October and early November of 1975, reliable military personnel at Loring Air Force Base, and that's in Maine, Wert Smith Air Force Base in Michigan, Malmstrom, that's the big one, that's what Salis Air Force Base, Montana, Minot Air Force Base, North Dakota, and the Canadian Air Force Station at Falcon Bridge, Ontario, had visibly sighted suspicious objects. Once again, their reliability of the observers is established from the start, and once again, the UFOs are reported in sensitive military areas. These are missile control facilities, aircraft alert areas, and nuclear weapon storage areas where security is generally tight. In reporting on one incident, a Loring Air Force Base teletype stated that an unidentified demonstrated a clear intent in the weapons storage area. The Air Force never explained what the clear intent was, though it seems that, in this instance, it was a nonviolent intent. In a lawsuit, now this is important, this part, a lawsuit of Citizens Against UFO Secrecy versus National Security Agency, a U.S., now listen, this is very important, because it's already went in the courts once. A U.S. District Court reviewed top secret 21-page affidavit concerning the National Security Agency's, NSA, UFO documents. The affidavit was partially declassified and released to us on May 18, 1982. Although virtually all reports of UFOs have been censored out of the affidavit, with the singular exception of a brief reference to a 1973 report, a few interesting comments are left to ponder. For example, UFOs are placed into a class of information that the NSA refers to as surprise material, and another reference is made to a document which describes the NSA's ability to deal with unusual phenomena. These terms hardly describe a trivial, unimportant subject. Here comes the part. A total of 239 UFO documents were discovered by the NSA in those files, with 79 originating from other government agencies. These agencies, unnamed, also refused to allow their documents to be released. Does that not sound familiar? What's going on now? They refuse, and they'll always refuse. The NSA documents primarily took the form of either communications intelligence reports or signal intelligence reports. The period covered by the document spanned 21 years from 1958 to 1979, and here it comes. After reviewing the arguments, the court declared in its memorandum and order that release of the documents, quote, could seriously jeopardize the work of the agency and the security of the United States, end quote. In balancing the public interest in the issue of UFOs against the agency's need for secrecy, the court further determined that, quote, public interest in disclosure is far outweighed by the sensitive nature of the materials and the obvious effect on national security their release may well entail. That's the bottom line. A court. What court was this? A U.S. District Court ruled on this. So, just like anything else, if this were to go to court, there's precedence with this case. They can refer to this. This is why this is significant. There's precedence here. It's already happened once in a lawsuit to try to get files, to try to get documents. It's already been decided in court once, and they can go back to that and refer to that. This is all part of it. It's amazing when I'm reading this, I'm like, holy shit. And again, this reinforces both the continuous ties of UFOs to our national security and the fact that there is constant secrecy surrounding UFO documents. We are now certain that the government, after more than 30 years of secrecy, still manages to keep UFO-related information from the public. No shit, Sherlock. This was written 40 years ago when they were really studying a lot of this stuff. When all this was going on at bases, installations, because there was a hot period that this was occurring a lot. And then it goes, we, the authors of Clear Intent, object to this policy, blah, 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 blah. And then it goes into the specific cases. It goes into FOIA, which John Greenwald uses tremendously. There's a lot here. I can't read all this, but it's going into all the quotes from documents, how they try to use FOIA and the answers. This is what Greenwald goes into all the time when he puts something in and then they send him back something. But I definitely, it's crazy. This is all part of the FOIA. This is a book that has to be read thoroughly. Because I can't just take, I have to look, there's a lot here. I can't just skim while I'm doing this. So this is intrusions at Loring at the base. It goes into that story, what happened there. I don't know if they go into the Maelstrom case, which they should, I would think. Which is what Robert Salas was involved in. This is all Loring. Yeah, this is all Loring. Here's Maelstrom. This is the one that you might see witnesses for. I say that carefully. I'm not trying to put this person in a spot, but I know from hearing from others he wants to testify. That's what I hear, that he's willing to testify. And there are others. Shit. He was at Maelstrom. He was a captain there. When 10 ICBMs supposedly were shut down. And there was an object seen near the base when this happened. And I hope that he does. Now, this is public. Shit. Let me not go any further. I'm smoking because I want to. Let me see if did we mention it on our interview with him? Or was it Annie's show? I can't remember. He handed out affidavits about this case with Robert Salas. Robert Salas was sitting in the first row at the hearings. There's more to it, but I can't get into it. But Stephen said that he put on tables so they could see it, everything about this case and Robert Salas. I think he said it either on the show I did with Toby or any show. And he also sent it digitally. And he timed it. So why would he do that unless there's an intent there that Salas is interested in testifying? Let me go back to this case. This is an interesting case. I'm going to start reading. And remember, this is during this time period. This is an older book. There are more than 2,000 missile sites spread across the United States. At Maelstrom Air Force Base in Montana, there are 20 launch control facilities housing Minuteman missiles underground. The Minuteman sites are alphabetically coded, such as L1, K1, E1, and the like, and are distributed over a wide area. One of these sites, K7, which is located in the Judith Gap region just south of Lewiston, Montana, was the scene of an event which caused a major stir for the Air Force. On November 7, 1975, remote electronic sensors triggered an alarm indicating that something was violating site security. Underground, in the launch control area, 2 officers noted the signal, but there was no television surveillance topside. The normal procedure for detecting what had violated security was to call for a missile security helicopter to check the area. At the same time, sabotage alert teams, consisting of 4 to 6 men, were also alerted to the fact that a violation was taking place and were ordered to proceed to the site. On this occasion, a SAT team drove down the highway and onto a dirt road which led to the K7 area. About a mile away, the team could see an orange glowing object over the area. Remember, this is 75. Drones? Balloons? As they closed to within a half a mile, they could now see the object was tremendous in size. Now remember, some of these people are still alive. Direct first-hand witness accounts. They radioed to the launch control facility that, from their location, they were viewing a brilliantly glowing orange football field-sized disc that illuminated the missile site. This is what they described. The SAT team was ordered by the launch control people to proceed into the K7 site. However, they responded that they refused to go any farther. Clearly fearful of the intimidating appearance of the object, it began to rise, and at about 1,000 feet, NORAD picked up the UFO on radar. So do we have that radar data showing an object that large over the base, as they say in this book? Can we declassify that? It's old radar. Can we declassify that? Did that disappear? The evidence of that? 2 F-106 jet interceptors were launched from Great Falls, Montana, and headed toward the K7 area. The UFO continued to rise. At about 200,000 feet, it disappeared from NORAD's radar. 200,000 feet. The F-106s were never able to get a visual sighting of the UFO. All members of the SAT team were directed to the base hospital where they were psychologically tested. It was determined that no one could identify the object that was seen, but that the members of the SAT team obviously had been through a traumatic experience. Meanwhile, targeting teams, along with computer specialists, were brought to the missile site to check out the missiles, and specifically the computer in the warhead that targets the missile. Amazingly, when one computer was checked, they found that the tape had mysteriously changed target numbers. The re-entry vehicle was then taken from the silo and brought back to the base. Eventually, the entire missile was changed. The Maelstrom K7 story is an excerpt from A Strange Harvest, Thoughts Beyond Space by Linda Moulton Howe, Denver Magazine, September 1980, an article which background information about the development of A Strange Harvest, that was a documentary, about the animal mutilations mystery, which has haunted the United States, Canada, parts of Western Europe, Central and South America, and the Canary Islands since 1967. Linda Moulton Howe, director of special projects for the Denver CBS affiliate KMGH-TV, produced, wrote, directed, and edited the film, which was originally broadcast on May 25, 1981, and drew the largest recorded audience for a locally produced program in Denver television history. Ms. Howe has received several state and national awards for her documentary work. I know all this. An additional bit of information surfaced later in the National Military Command Center Memorandum for Record dated November 8, 1975, 6 a.m. Eastern. The following statement appeared in reference to Maelstrom. At 4:05 Eastern, SAC Site L5 observed one object accelerate and climb rapidly to a point in altitude where it became indistinguishable from the stars. NORAD will carry this incident as a fade, remaining unknown at 3:20 Eastern, since after that time only visual sightings occurred. The reference to fade is interesting. This would presumably refer to a target on a radar scope fading and disappearing from the screen. Yet both radar and visual sightings are described in the above extract. Coincidentally, there is an Air Force team used to describe an incident in which a nuclear device is tampered with. This term is faded giant, a phrase which very appropriately described the K7 report. Could this mean that the Maelstrom sites K7 and L5 both experienced missile tampering activity in connection with the UFO sightings? No additional information has been forthcoming from the Air Force. This was not the first case that such an incident had occurred at Maelstrom, and this is probably the one with Salas. In the early spring of 1966, two officers had relieved an earlier shift in an underground launch control area for the evening. As they ran through the routine of monitoring the missile facility's instruments, alarms began to go off. It seemed that all of the 10 missiles at their location had simultaneously developed a problem. A quick check with each launching site indicated that none of the missiles could be launched, if indeed due to a fault in all of their guidance and control systems. This is an unusual problem because the guidance system is the most protected portion of the Minuteman missile. Personnel above ground had indicated at the same time that the problem developed, UFOs were seen in the area. Another similar incident during the week of March 20th, 1967, disturbed officials at Maelstrom. Again, a flight of 10 missiles developed problems. A UFO was in the area and was confirmed on radar. Jet fighters were sent after the UFO, but the result of the pursuit are not known. Later inquiries to obtain additional information met with silence. Other sightings were received at Maelstrom during 1975. The following information is taken from the 24th NORAD Region Senior Director's log. So this is the log from that case, 75. Received a call from the 341st Strategic Air Command Post saying that the following missile locations reported seeing a large red to orange to yellow object: M1, L3, Lima, and L6. The general object location would be 10 miles south of Moore, Montana, and 20 miles east of Buffalo, Montana. Commander Deputer for Operations informed. November 7, 1975, SAC advised that the LCF at Harlow, Montana observed an object which emitted a light which illuminated the site driveway. Same date, SAC advised K1 saw a very bright object to their east, is now southeast of them, and they are looking at it with 10 by 50 binoculars. Object seems to have lights, several on it, but no distinct pattern. The orange-gold object overhead also has small lights on it. SAC also advises female civilian reports having seen an object bearing south from her position 6 miles west of Lewiston. Same date, L1 reports that the object to their northeast seems to be issuing a black object from it, tubular in shape. In all this time, surveillance has not been able to detect any sort of track except for known traffic. Same date. K1 and L1 report that as the sun rises, so does the objects. They have visual. Same date. From SAC CP, as the sun rose, the UFOs disappeared. Commander and DO notified. I mean, this shit just goes on and on. Here's another one. November 8th. Okay, this is another excerpt from the National Military Command Center. It's a memorandum for the record. The subject was unidentified sightings. It read as follows. From NORAD Command Director at 2:53 Eastern, November 8th, Malmstrom Air Force Base, Montana, received seven radar cuts on the height finder radar at altitudes between 9,500 and 15,500 feet. Simultaneous ground witnesses observed lights in the sky and the sound of jet engines similar to jet fighters. Cross-tel with FAA revealed no jet aircraft within 100 nautical miles of the sighting. Radar tracked the objects over Lewiston, Montana at a speed of 7 knots. 7 knots? Fucking thing is barely moving. 2 F-106 interceptors from the 24th NORAD region were scrambled at 2:54 Eastern and became airborne at 2:57 Eastern. At the time of the initial voice report, personnel at Malmstrom Air Force Base and SAC sites K1, K3, L3, and L6 reported lights in the sky accompanied by jet engine noise. At 3:44 Eastern from NORAD Command Director, objects could not be intercepted. Fighters had to maintain a minimum of 12,000 feet because of mountainous terrain. Sightings had turned west, increased speed to 150 knots. 2 tracks were apparent on the height finder radars, 10-12 nautical miles apart. SAC Site K3 reported sightings between 300 feet and 1,000 feet, while Site L4 reported sightings 5 nautical miles from their position. Sightings disappeared from radar at position 4650 north, 10920 west, at a tracking speed of 3 knots. At 4:40 Eastern, I guess this is the acronym for this, National Military Command Center initiated contact with the NORAD Command Director, who reported the following. At 4:05 Eastern, Malmstrom received intermittent tracks on both search and height finder radars. It was 10 nautical miles southeast of Stanford, Montana, reported visual sightings of unknown objects. Personnel at 4 SAC sites reported observing intercepting F-106s arrive in the area, sighted objects turn off their lights upon arrival of interceptors, and back on upon their departure. At 4:40 Eastern, SAC Site C1 still had visual sightings on objects. NORAD stated that northern lights will sometimes cause phenomena such as this on height finder radars, but their check with weather services revealed no possibility of northern lights. The National Military Command Center notified Washington FAA at 4:45 Eastern on the incidents described above. They had not received any information prior to this time. So there's a lot of shit. What was it? And there's more. I mean, this goes on and on. Actual excerpts from memos, documents, declassified. Seems like Montana had a lot of activity. And there's more. They call it the Montana Flap. The Cascade Sheriff's Office was swamped with so many calls on the aerial activity taking place over the county that the sheriff requested help from Malmstrom Air Force Base. This help was granted in the form of security helicopters placed on 24-hour alert. The pilots would remain in the helicopter even to sleep in case a call came in from the sheriff's office. We spoke to one of the pilots. He told us of an incident after a call for assistance had come in from the sheriff. This is what he said. People were reporting a craft at low level that they thought was a helicopter. They were reporting that the craft had strobe lights on it, like disco lights. Well, the weather was so bad when the report came in that it would have been impossible to fly a helicopter with the icing and so forth. This made it kind of strange. We could not fly due to very bad weather conditions, but this craft had no trouble flying in this weather. They even have a call between the sheriff and an individual. This book has got a lot of stuff in it. Jesus Christ. So this is a person. The following statement given by Bill Link on January 20, 1976, in the presence of Wolverton Howard and a deputy. So they took his testimony. So I'm going to read this and then I'm done. Because there's too much. There's just too much. So here's the witness. We first spotted them from the house. My boy saw them first, just as we turned in to go to the house. My mother was visiting, he said. And he said, Dad, there's a funny light down in the field. So we all turned to look at it, and I went on into the house. It didn't look strange to me. My wife, boy, and little girl stayed out. And pretty soon she said, Come out, Bill. Look at these. They're really funny. I guess like weird. So I went out there, and by this time there was a row of trees down the road about 3/4 of a mile. Well, by this time, those lights were coming back and forth out from behind this row of trees. And they appeared at that time to be landing in the field and taking off and landing in the field and so forth. So we watched them for quite a while, probably 20 minutes. There with the field glasses on. About this time, we saw 2 red blinkers down on the highway and said, well, somebody has reported it to the sheriff or somebody is out there now with a patrol car watching them. So we'll go down, too. So I took the 2 boys and jumped into the pickup and we turned the corner of our approach on the main highway. Why these red things that we thought were patrol cars, then they floated off the highway over the field still blinking, or they were then. So we drove on down there, and then as we approached the field, when they had went, why we saw the structure that looked like a hotel, a 2-story hotel sitting out there in the field, and the other lights were grouped around it, about 4 sets of lights grouped around it. Sheriff Howard, the big one looked like it was sitting right on the ground? Bill, it looked like it. That's what the appearance indicated. And about how far away was it? Like I said before, I would judge it to be about 500 yards. Is that as close as you got to it? That was as close as we got. Maybe it was 3, maybe it was 5, maybe it was 7. But I would say, knowing what that field is, it wouldn't have been over 500 yards. What did the machine look like? Angular, cigar shape? The one that looked like a hotel? While it looked like it was rectangular shaped, you could see the outline of it. You couldn't see the outline till you put the field glasses on. Then you could see the dark outline. Did it have cabin lights or whatever you want to call it? Yeah. There were these lights, windows, I'd say about. There were 2 rows of those, and they appeared to be probably 5 to 6 feet high, and maybe 2 to 3 feet wide, with that is standing on end like this. Single pane windows? Single pane windows. No divisions at all in them. Could you tell if there were windows all the way around it? Well, no. It looked like it was just, and then the sheriff said, one side? Face of one side of it. But they were full length of the machine? Yeah, they were the full length of the machine. Well, they come about, there was none in the exact corner of it. They started in the waist from each end of it. In the meantime, these other lights seemed to be kind of affiliated with it, because they grouped around it. They would come up close to it, and then they would leave, hover about, and rapidly change places, and then they would appear to set down right in the stubble, and then some of them would die down to a very dim light, and then we would watch them for a while, and they would flare right back up to very brilliant. And it says here, this is a very small excerpt of a much longer statement on this case. So this just demonstrates, it says, the strangeness characterizing the reported sightings. So this shit just goes on. And there's documents in the back. There's a lot of stuff in here. A lot from memos and declassified documents. The reason I say this, and I'm reading about this, is because these are the kind of witnesses they're trying to pull for future hearings. That's why I'm bringing this up. Lou Elizondo referred to it. Alexa, shut off the ring light.
Okay.
How they're brash and they're doing recon, monitoring, surveillance on R&D sites, military sites, nuclear sites, Department of Energy sites. And this isn't just like, I don't know if he's referring to more recent times or is this going back to like this? So there are still people alive that were part of this. Now I'm hearing something behind the scenes. If true, it's getting serious behind the scenes with Congress. I can't get into details, but what I'm hearing is freaking amazing. Because it looks like they're really starting to get serious about pulling in witnesses. But again, what witness is going to go in front of a hearing? And a lot of them are going to be old seniors. You think they want to go through that? Do you really? They don't want to be aggravated. They don't want to deal with this shit. A lot of them, like the police officer that I spoke to, I saw him 2-3 months ago, and he says, Bill, I gotta be honest with you. I know you're a great guy, but I don't want to talk about this case anymore. I just want to put it behind me. He does not want to talk about it anymore. And I respect his opinion, his reasoning. He said, I just want to put it behind me. I don't want to talk about it anymore. He told me that straight up, very nicely. But he doesn't want to talk about it anymore. And he's at that, point in his life where he doesn't want to go public with it anymore. He just wants to be in peace. And there's a lot of people out there like that. They don't want to be bothered. It's like, why? Why get all the aggravation? I'm going to get attacked. They don't want that. So it's going to be interesting to see who comes forward. Who is going to appear at a hearing. I wish I could show you stuff. I wish I could show you emails. I wish I could tell you what happens behind the freaking scenes because it's so interesting. Something happened Sunday that was like, and it was That's why I refer to that book. I'm giving you a major clue of what might be lying ahead on your possible next set of witnesses. And we'll see. Now you might say, well, they could say what they want, but what if some of these witnesses are meeting with Congress behind closed doors to get the documents and the records related to their incident that is classified and try to declassify that and release it to the public? Something that happened 30, 40 years ago? Can you imagine? Even something like that. Radar indicating a football field-sized disc hovering over a base, shutting down Minuteman missiles at the same time they malfunctioned while this thing is over the base. Witnesses seeing it. What else do they have? So there's certain people that I know that won't come forward. They refuse. There are a few. I don't even want to throw names out there. But that's what we need. We need people directly connected as witnesses. But it has to be backed up by evidence. There's only one way to get that evidence, is that to declassify it. Now, do you think, I mean, you're talking about, they don't have to get into the details about the missiles, but they can still talk about something being seen over the base at the time they were having these issues. It's going to be a slippery slope, how much they can reveal, because that's national security. Everything's national security. And that's why when I hear people in chat rooms and in the public saying, show us the evidence, show us the proof, I'm not going to see that. Because they have such an ultra classification when it comes to this stuff. It's going to be very hard to declassify anything in relation to this. But Lou said at the hearing, yes, there are some documents that could be released to Congress, declassified to Congress and the public. I would like to know which ones those are. He did say that, because I wrote the notes down. Because somebody asked him the question, is there stuff that can be declassified? Do you think there is stuff that can be declassified and released to us? I don't know, to the public. And then he said, yes, to you and the public. I'm paraphrasing. So this has been going on for a long time. But the thing is, there's still people that are alive that can testify to a lot of this stuff. So we'll see. There is, again, just think of it this way, and I'll say it again. I've been saying it for the last few days. The Senate, the House, and the presidency will all be controlled by one party. And the head of the party, if he decides he wants to pursue something, and I know people say there's no way he's going to put himself in that position, they're not going to give it to him, blah, 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 blah. Remember, when it comes to President Trump, all the Republicans bow and follow his lead. No one goes against him. They all follow in line. So if he wants to do something, will they continue that? Go along with him on this? You're talking about the higher ranking Republicans. Will they? That's going to be interesting to see. Declassifying? We shall see. I think he said it. He referred to it on Rogan interview. I could pull it up. But if he really, really wants to, I don't know. I don't know how much he can be letting out there. I don't know if that's something he really wants to do, but if he decides that's something he wants to do, the Republicans will fall in line with him. I don't think they will revolt. I don't know. I don't know if there'll be much pushback from the party, because they never have. They never showed any signs when he says something go against Trump. He just has to put something on Truth Social and you're done politically. So they know this. So would they go against his wishes on something like that? I don't know. There's no pattern to prove that they would. I've never seen anything in the past that would make me think that they're going to go against his wishes and not do as he bids them to do. Because they don't. They just don't. So, it will be interesting. I'm hearing a lot of stuff behind the scenes. That's why I'm bringing it up. I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know if something else is going to happen globally, whether it's Iran, China, Ukraine, something else that the focus of the attention is going to be put to, because that would set a priority. The border, there's going to be administration directives, and they got to get all the people in place, settle in. But I think after a few months, we might see something more serious, if he pushes it. I don't know. There is talk, though. Let me see if there's a reference to this. Okay. This isn't. What the hell is this?
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Listen.
One of the things that I wanted to talk to you about is the JFK files. And one of the things that you said was that if they showed you what they showed me, this was your quote, you wouldn't want people to know it either.
So I opened them up partially. I was met with, from good people. I mean, good people. People that were well-meaning. Mike Pompeo was one of them. He's a good person. They called me. They said, "Sir, would rather have you not." And I did open them. But I was asked by some people not to open them. There's a Martin Luther King file, too, by the way, that they'd like to see. I don't know if you know, but there is that. But JFK in particular. So they called me, a lot of good people called me, people that that you would find reasonable people. And they asked me not to do it. So I said, well, we'll close it for another time. But if I win, I'm going to open them up. I'm just going to open enough time.
Why didn't you open it up the first time?
Because
though?
a lot of times,
what was the hesitation?
Addresses, people that are still living. There are people that are affected, and there could be some national security reason that that I don't have to necessarily know about. But some very good, talented people asked me not to do it. I opened it up, and then they said, "Would it be possible for us to do that a different day?"
How much of it did you read into?
I think it's going to be just fine to open it. Let me put it that way. I think it's fine. It's going to be time. It's a cleansing. It's really a cleansing. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it immediately, almost immediately upon entering office.
Well, the thing, when people look at it from the outside and you sort of imagine what could be a reason why they would not release those files, it would be there's people that were implicated in the assassination.
Yeah. Well, when there are living people, you generally tend not to want to do it. When people are still living.
Living people that formerly work for the government.
For the government, and living people that were somehow involved in it, and you tend not to do that. But it's time to open them. I can't tell you whether or not they're going to find anything of interest. And I did partially open. I think I've opened 50%, but I was asked not to do it, and I thought that was a reasonable ask. But now I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it very soon. There's a lot of interest in it.
One of the things that
there's a lot of interest in the people coming from space,
Yes.
And I know you're interested in that.
Oh, I'm very interested in that. How much did they tell you about that?
A lot.
Really?
Yeah.
What did they tell you? How much can you tell?
So
how's that work? Is it like super top secret?
I can tell,
Tell me.
Well, based on Hunter Biden, I can say whatever the hell I want. But I interviewed a few people. It's never been my thing, I have to be honest. I have never been a believer. I have people that Area 51 or whatever it is. I think it's the #1 tourist attraction in the whole country or something. Area 51 in Las Vegas. Do you know that, right?
Sure, I know what it is.
So anyway, but it's a big tourist thing. So I interviewed jet pilots that say they saw something. If you saw them, you'd love to have them as
I've
your
had a
son.
couple in here. Commander David Fravor.
Yeah.
I had him in, who had that sighting in 2004. Very compelling with video evidence, radar evidence. Ryan Graves.
I don't believe his name, but I interviewed jet pilots that were solid people. Perfect. I mean, great pilots, great everything. And they said, we saw things, sir, that were very strange. Like a round ball, but it wasn't a comet or a meteor.
I'm not commenting on this.
And it was going 4 times faster than an F-22, which is a very fast plane, And it was round, which is, in theory, a great shape.
So when you were talking to these people, was this something that you were compelled to have conversations about? Was this your personal interest?
A little bit. It's not a great interest for me, but it's a little interest. I get that question as much as almost any question. Do you think that we have aliens coming, flying around or whatever?
What do you think?
There's no reason not to. I mean, there's no reason not to think that Mars and all these planets don't have life, because
Mars, we've had probes there and rovers, and I don't think there's any life there.
Well, maybe it's life that we don't know, but maybe
there was life there at one point in time. This is the speculation about Mars, that Mars had an atmosphere at one point in time, a long time ago, that could support life. It also had large bodies of water, but we've had no evidence of even bacterial life that exists on Mars. But the universe is pretty vast.
It's not been a big thing for me. I mean, when I looked at what China did to this, they would have never done it with me, where they put the balloon up. And a lot of people thought for a little while that was one of these things. So,
that's a lot of the speculation, too, that some of these drones that hover over battleships, that these are Chinese drones, and that they're not UFOs.
They could be also.
There's some super sophisticated.
But I did interview, let's say, 3 or 4 guys and without tremendous interest, if you had them, as I said, you'd love to have them as your children. Solid, beautiful people. They said, sir, there's something there.
There's something there.
Said it, yeah.
Yeah, I've talked to quite a few of
them.
They're
not conspiracy guys.
Well, I mean, just the Commander David Fravor thing in 2004 off the coast of San Diego, they clocked that thing going from 50,000 feet above sea level to 50 in a second.
Yeah.
They don't know what it is.
That's tough to beat.
Yeah, they saw something in the water. It was hovering over that something that was making a disturbance in the water. They got video evidence of this thing. 2 different fighter jets with pilots in them saw it. There's, visual evidence, photographic evidence, video evidence, radar evidence. Whatever the hell it is, it moves in a way that would turn a human being into jello if they're inside of it. The G-force, no one would survive.
Oh,
so what is that? And it doesn't have a heat signature. They don't know what their propulsion system was. But
when you fly in some of these jets, these pilots have to be in great shape.
Oh yeah, I flew with
When
the
you
Blue
talk
Angels
about-
once.
Yeah,
Yeah,
as
I
an
got to
example.
fly. I guess
and
it's
those
an
are older,
FA-18.
and those are older machines.
And they're crazy.
When you fly in some of these things,
Oh, my
it's
God.
amazing. Yeah, but
Yeah, I can imagine.
You got to be special.
That's it. He should have went. He should have. He was careful. He's not really interested, but for national security, he will be. And he was hesitant at times responding. He was being very careful. He was thinking about his responses. He kept bringing up the pilots. They're good people. They're not conspiracy theorists. You'd be proud to have them as your kids. So he definitely knows more. He's just being careful. He has to be. So I wonder. I just wonder. And that was him when he was on with Rogan. He's saying he's going to open up to JFK. We'll see. But I think there will be certain people that will get in his ear to say, Mr. President, we need your help. We're at a dead end here. We can't get nothing. Can you please help us with this? Look into this. We shall see. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see where this goes under President Trump. And like I said, there's chatter going on. We could see some serious hearings under his administration where there's more people involved. They take it more serious. If he decides he wants to, he says, I'm a non-believer. He doesn't believe it. He said that. He's not a believer in it. And he has very little interest in it. But there's also the national security aspect of this, where he has to take it serious. Whether it could be China, Russia, whatever. There's a national security component to it. And that's how they're going to address it. They're not going to say it's aliens. It's the last thing you want to do. You sound crazy when you bring up the alien talk all the time. But there are serious ramifications from a national security point of view that we're dealing with something that we don't know what it is or who's behind it. And that leaves us vulnerable in a security aspect. So just that alone, just based on that, and we'll see. I honestly think this could get serious under his administration. The timing, everything the way it's building, everything the way everything is setting up. I'd be really interested to see where this goes. I'm telling you. I have conversation with people, and I even said it on a show. I said it at the end of any show. Can you imagine? Just imagine this. And I'll say it again. If President Trump were to have a meeting, a public meeting with reporters, say at the White House, and say, I'm here to share with you documents and evidence to be transparent about UAPs. These are the documents that I am going to release. He will go down in history forever as the disclosure president. And it'll affect everyone around the world. Now, the thing is, are other countries going to come out? How are they going to respond to it? How does that look? How do they publicly respond to it? His statements. Do they say they already knew this? We've been working with them? Like, how do they, if he was to do something like that, how does it affect relationships with our allies? Forget the adversaries. This could be incredible. But the entire world would be affected by it. It would be something we've never seen before in our lifetimes. Do you think he's capable of doing it? I do. Because he knows this could put him in, history will look back to this moment and look back to him. Forever. Especially if it's proven to be valid and true. I mean, I can't emphasize how important that would be. For the entire planet. For everyone. And for him, his legacy. I mean, if he really wants to make himself remembered in history in a way that no other president... Yes, Ma.
I gotta sleep here.
Why?
Because I was living with Mommy and not me.
Were you having dreams?
Yeah,
So why do you have to sleep here?
Well, I don't want to be with myself.
So stay here with me. I think I need to go now. Oh my God, it's 2:30 in the morning. Anyway, to be continued. All I know is it's getting serious behind the scenes. You people may not believe that. But it is. There's more optimism now than ever before.
Yeah?
Yes.
Move this dog out of
I'm going now. Anyway, everybody, have a great morning, great night. Be well, be blessed, be safe. See everybody maybe tomorrow night.